Essential Language Packet Number 2, The Fugitive. Part 1. Major Characters. Dr. Richard Kimball, a prominent vascular surgeon who is accused, tried, and convicted of the murder of his wife. A vascular surgeon operates on veins. Helen Kimball, Richard's wife, who is murdered by an intruder who enters the Kimball house. Samuel Gerard, a U.S. Marshal, federal police agent, who is in charge of capturing Richard after he escapes during a bus ride to prison. Cosmo Renfro, Gerard's personal assistant. Dr. Charles Nichols, another prominent surgeon and friend of Richard. Sykes, an unpleasant, one-armed corporate security officer who Richard comes to believe is the person who murdered his wife. Plot summary. Dr. Richard Kimball is a brilliant vascular surgeon who returns to his Chicago home one evening to find that his wife is being brutally attacked by a man with one artificial arm. After a savage fight, the one-armed man escapes, but Richard's wife is killed. In a nightmare without end, Richard is actually accused of the murder, tried in a court of law, and then convicted of the crime. He is sentenced to the death penalty. While on his way to prison, Richard escapes during a dramatic bus accident, and then shortly after brings his journey as a fugitive on the run. A fugitive is a person who is running from capture, usually because he is wanted for having broke a law. Richard desperately tries to stay one step ahead of the police, while simultaneously trying to gather the evidence that would prove he is not guilty of having murdered his wife. After almost being recaptured, Richard goes back to Chicago. His search for the evidence he needs eventually brings him back to the hospital where he has worked before. It is there that a prosthetics laboratory, a maker of artificial arms and legs, may contain the information needed to identify the killer. He avoids being captured several more times and eventually does indeed find his man. In the process, Richard learns the horrible truth as to why his wife had been murdered. This is the conclusion of the major characters and plot summary for Essential Reading Packet Number 2, The Fugitive.